One. Hey YouTube, what's going on? War Moose Eternal here, and I am actually going to do something that is not Destiny 2 related. I know, right? Shocker. Now, I know some of you guys have seen some of my crazy wraps I've done on my cars. Like, as you guys have seen some of the, like this right here. And, well, my drift car. And just something I was playing around with. Well, I'm going to walk you guys through how I do my liveries. Okay, I actually remember seeing one of those. That thing was cool as shit. Anyway. So, we're going to pick our car. I'll tell you what. Before we go into that, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you guys a couple things real quick that's going to be very beneficial. This right here. That's where you can get a lot of your decals, a lot of like your sponsor decals, your crazy wraps, you know, stuff like that. I'm going to have a lot of your like your sponsor decals. Alright. I'll show you this real quick. And then to download it, so literally just add to collection. Just boom. Sometimes it takes it a second. And then we can go from there. Alright. Now, come over here to search. And you can also go patterns. Now, and you see they have all sorts of crazy stuff in here. There are some incredibly talented people that do a lot of these. And I mean incredibly talented people. Alright, and you can also, if you have an account through go on the website and get registered on there, you can actually upload your own designs, which is what a lot of these people do. Alright, you can just scroll through, you know, pick your designs. So I got picked that one up just because it looked cool. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to go in and we are going to make a new wrap. Now, I am actually going to do a new one for one of my cars. I use sometimes, but not a lot. Just it's more of one of those just take out and thrash and have fun with cars. Alright. Now, I start off with the paint. Kind of give it that snarl and that look I want. You got to start with a good base coat. Alright. If you go over here to special color, that's ones you can get through your mileage exchange. And they'll have a bunch of crazy colors in there. I mean, you go all the way down to real car paint. And you can pick real, actual colors used on cars. Alright. Like here. We're going to start with this one. Now, when you go to paint, if you hit R3, that will actually show the area that's going to be painted or where the decals are going to be placed. Like here. I am going to have this in a matte black because I'm going to do a special touch on here. My rear wing, I'm going to do in a black. Alright. Now wheels, these are your choice really. And tires. You can go with this. You can just pick your favorite tire brand. It doesn't really matter. But just for all intents and purposes, sorry. You can go Michelin. And wheels, you have a lot of free reign here. Alright. Now, wheels have got to complement the car too. That's something I always kind of look at as well, as like it takes me a little bit longer because wheels have got to, you know, fit the look that I want of the car. Like these right here would look good, but I use these on my Mustang. So I'm gonna go with, honestly, there's a lot of good choices here. A good retro 5-spoke design would be nice. BBS also makes some really good looking wheels. I'm going to go with the BBSs on this one. And you can actually color code your wheels to whatever you want. Say like if you want to have black accents on your car, you can color code your wheels because it'll show up the paint down below. Like boom, there you go. Now, always spin your car around in preview. Alright, now here's where things kind of get in the nitty-gritty, especially if you're doing a racing car. I put my numbers on to kind of give myself an indication of my limit. Alright, put my name on there. That gave me a limit of where I can work. And this, that's your choice, really. Alright. Now, R3, if you notice how it says verify work area, it shows the different work areas that you're going to be working with. Alright. We're going to start with the body. This is something I like to do. As you notice, I have a lot of decals downloaded. Sue me. There are some people who have made some incredible wraps. Like this guy here, Gary Stevens. He makes a lot of amazing wraps. Like this one here. Now, position it where you want it. I'm going to kind of bring it down a little lower. All right. Now, what you can do from here is, instead of duplicating on reverse and then flipping horizontally, because that's going to leave an open space. Show you a little trick. What I do is I pan my camera up and I go into set projection area. Your depth limit will actually wrap it around the car. Depth and angle to 10 all the way across, and it carries it all the way around the car. Now, on your rear wing, I'm going to go, I'm just going to say this is like a factory sponsored Dodge car. Duh, Dodge would be up here. Alright. Now, spinning it around your rear wing. And, like I said, spin around to your rear wing. Set projection area. And you can actually have it, if you do it correctly, you can have it to where it'll come through the rear wing. Now, on your winglets, which is the little side panels of your wing, this is something that I've seen a lot of people do, and I used to do this myself. I know I was guilty of this in some of my early liveries. Is once you place a decal on, it will actually kind of wrap up to the top of the rear wing. I need to find it again because I just want to close to the top, but I have an American flag I was going to put on there. But let me find it and I'll put it on there. But I'll show you how to get rid of the wrapping effect of it going up over the top of the wing and interfering with the visual look of the rear wing. Demo when you have too many decals for your own good. Okay. L1, you can adjust your scale. You can make it shorter or fatter. So we're going to go with that. Now if you notice, oh no, it wrapped up to the top of the wing. Go into your layer control, go into set projection area. I would always kind of pan it up to where you can see your rear wing. And depth limit. And hit OK. And look, it's just going to cover that one side. Now, I'll show you something else real quick as well. Say if you want to put an emblem on there and you just don't want to have to go through and reposition it on the other side, there's another neat little trick you can do. I have a Viper emblem I was going to put on there. Oh no, encountered the same problem again. Change the color. Let's go with kind of a dark blue like the color of the car. And now, layer controls. Duplicate on reverse, and boom. You can actually use that all over the body of the car. Which I'm going to do something real quick, because the Viper is actually kind of and it's a really unique case, especially if you're doing a livery for it. Because sometimes the hood wraps around to part of the fenders as well. So if you're doing the hood, you got to be really, really careful. Especially with cars that have like really large hoods that wrap around to the fenders, things get kind of screwy. Notice, too big. Resize it down, get your positioning where you want it, and then you can actually just go through, change color. And now, duplicate on reverse. It will be in the exact same position as it was on the other side of the car. If you mess up, if you move your stick too soon, you can just cancel editing and it'll go back to the way it was originally. Now, with doing the hood of, say, something like a Viper, you've got to be a little bit more careful, because I am going to do this real quick to show you. I'm going to pick a random decal and slap it on, and I'll show you. Okay. Say you want it actually kind of going down the side of the car and the fender. If you notice, when you pan your camera over, it's going to change your controls ever so slightly. You just gotta mess with it and tinker with it till you get your positioning just right. And then duplicate and reverse, and guess what? You now have your decals down where you want them. Which that is probably the hardest part of doing this, especially with a Viper or a car with a larger hood like this, because the hood will wrap around and it will throw your camera off some. You can't just go into like the body section and do it that way. But and say if you want like your sponsors to really be shown off, like say your main sponsor, like, oh, this one here is sponsored by Dodge. It's a factory works car. Don't be afraid to experiment with positioning and size and coloring. Like here. That's why I always kind of go ahead and put the limits, the racing stuff on there for the limits. You can see how it looks already. And sponsors you can add as you wish, but always remember, with your body, hit R3 to constantly verify your work area to see kind of the room you have to play with. But let me show you how to do something real quick. Go into collection here. Now say if you want to make something look like it's made out of carbon fiber, or like the exposed carbon look. Now, I haven't fully perfected like having a car done in complete carbon fiber. That one honestly takes me a little bit, so once I perfect that, I will show you how to do it. Like this guy here, he did a really, really nice one. As you can see, boom. And resize it down to where it'll cover just the areas you need. And you can duplicate that to the other side, and guess what? Your canards are now done in exposed carbon. Alright. And there's kind of a brass colored carbon fiber that somebody made. I don't know if I still got it or if they took it down. And yes, I did a car based on Jacksepticeye. A couple Shelby logos here and there. A couple license plates. I have some really, goofy ones in there too, just because I can. All of these are community made. Here we go. Carbon Kevlar. Carbon Kevlar, sorry. I said it wrong. And you can just wrap it around to the area you want. And boom. You can actually change the look of it from there. Alright. Now, this is mainly just kind of like, the intro and the basics of livery making and wrap making 101. This is kind of more or less kind of like, how to get started and just like the little tips and tricks I use to come up with some of the eye-popping liveries that I do. This is not a definitive guide. A lot of other people have put out really good definitive guides on YouTube for this. I am actually doing this per request of a friend because he has a hard time making his own liveries for cars. So I wanted to show him and do this for him. For Tigobit64. So Tig, when you see this, buddy, feel free to use this to help yourself out. Because I want to see what you can come up with now. You've seen what I can do. I want to see what you can do. Alright. Now, once you get your project done, come down here, new design. You can name your design. Just whatever you want. Keep as is, single, 2, 3 color. Like this one. Go with a dark blue, white, and like a black. That'll show the paint chip for it. And you could have that up for people to look at, admire, and share. Library editor, says library, no. Open design. This is because I'm going to show you guys some of the ones I've made. Alright. I have done a lot of Mustangs. This is one that I still, personally enjoy. And that's always my biggest fear. Was this one here, I could go back through and completely redo now. Alright. Then of course, this is one I did kind of based around Pennzoil oil for a Formula One car. Which this one, honestly, this one took me about 20 minutes to make. Honestly, the toughest part was getting that Toyota logo positioned on that fin there. And getting all the decals placed. Because I wanted this thing to really look like an F1 car, like it was a sponsored F1 car. And just for the confusion factor, I'm just going to do it this way. This is some of the crazy stuff you can do with the library editor. So this one here actually took me close to an hour to fully do. I had to look at the car, take pictures of the car, get all the positioning and markings right, and even then I still don't think I got it right. Because getting that back section there was probably the toughest part. And to be quite truthful with you guys, this thing gets so many just weird looks if I pull this out in a public lobby. If you see this Porsche out, it's me. I had to do this because I thought it'd be funny. Now, I've actually asked people, is it a white Porsche with black markings? Or is it a black Porsche with white markings? And people get so confused when they look at this thing. They're just like, wait, what? It just little silly stuff like that. I enjoy doing that. Now, where I go through make wraps with a purpose, this is what comes out of it. If it decides it's going to load anytime soon. This is one that still gets a lot of comments and a lot of looks. And here's why. There's a nod to each branch of the military on there. And this is one that, people ask, like, what kind of wraps can I do? I show them this. And yes, this one here is also actually up for download. So, honestly, I get a little kind of choked up looking at this. Sense of pride that, comes out of it. So, I really hope you guys found this helpful. And Tig, I really hope you especially found this helpful. Because if you get the rest of YouTube, if you found this helpful, like, comment, subscribe, share. You know, and as always, you guys, take care, stay safe out there, God bless you, and have a good day.